what'd you think about this game? What'd you think about this Rams offense kind of rolling, taking advantage of Fred Warner not in there? The 49ers offense had some really good moments, but just wasn't able to kind of pull it off. But what'd you think about this game, Chuck?
Man, this is what elite teams I feel like are supposed to do to injured teams. This is I like in both games where we saw Seattle and Los Angeles, handed to the division opponents. That's what you want to see if you're a fan of those teams. Like, we've been performing like an elite team up until this point, and we're gonna smash you. Like, that was it was pretty thorough, right? And the 49ers, they had a little chance like in the second half, but it never felt like they really had a chance to win that game. And I just think that really impressive what the Rams have been able to put together this season. Because even before the year, when we were like, hey, this looks good if Stafford stays healthy, and he's stayed healthy. But even with like that in mind, it's been better than I thought it would be as a whole. They might be the best team in the NFL. We'll see when Seattle and when they play the Rams next week for the first game between those two. But yeah, that was really awesome to see by the Rams. It just really thorough, complete win.
Yeah, it really was. And that's the thing, is why I've been kind of harping on and praising Chris Shula for the last kind of couple of weeks now, and really on our midseason show with Robert Mays, is because of just not only just what the offense is doing, but the defense is doing as well. But yeah, the offense was, I mean, just the story of all this. They just absolutely just roll today. Like you said, you want the good offenses to feel like good offenses, the good teams to feel like good teams. 58% success rate, 53% rushing success rate, 62% passing success rate. And I keep harping on the Fred Warner not being there for the 49ers because it felt like his absence was like very apparent, like throwing the ball over the middle. There was a couple awesome dig throws to Devontae Adams running the ball, but Stafford went 11 of 15, 138 yards and 2 touchdowns between the numbers. That's over 9 yards an attempt. The Rams had 0.36 EPA per play. They averaged more than half a point of EPA per play per dropback, or I should say Stafford did. On 38 dropbacks as well. And Brady obviously had a good talking point here, but he really expanded on it. Tom Brady, I think he expanded on it well, was the multi-tight end looks that the Rams are getting to, because they've done so much 11 and the 3 tight end looks. And all the guys got featured today: Parkinson, Ferguson, Higbee, Davis Allen. But that's why I'm really bullish on this Rams team, is because they can pivot. They can run the ball, they can pass, they can straight drop back, they can play action drop back, they can run the ball in a variety of ways down the middle on duo. They can run zone runs now. They got back to that. I talked about that on the Thursday show. But today, 11 personnel, 33 plays, 200 yards, 6 yards a play, 1 touchdown, 58% success rate. This is all from Next Gen Stats. 13 personnel with 3 tight ends, 30 plays out of 13 personnel. Just saying, hey, we're daring. Your Fred Warner is gone. We're making you put as many linebackers on the field, and we're just going to abuse you. And they abused them. 202 plays, 6.7 yards per play, 4 touchdowns, 63% success rate. I mean, I know the Seahawks will probably have some answers to this, but just, man, is this the best offense right now?
It feels like it.
Right?
And when they're healthy, there's just too much that they can do. And like, even Puka wasn't like at his best, because he had a bad drop that he normally had will rein in on a routine basis too. So like, there's room for this to get even a little bit cleaner as they get more plays and more games in together as a full unit. So I'm really just like, it's so cool to see Sean McVay like kind of continue to do this. I know he's had a lot of good players, but just where he started with like that Jared Goff offense and all the play action stuff to where they are now, just like a total revolution. And I think like, shoot, they can win the Super Bowl, obviously, if they're going to keep playing like this. And like I said before, NFC West, maybe the NFC crown in general might come down to Seattle versus the Rams, which is just really cool, especially when you think about like how each team approaches the game and how they can play off each other. And they've just thoroughly been good this season.
And that's I almost didn't like appreciate Shula and the defense until last week, where I was like studied them finally. Like I've watched a lot of Rams games, so it's a little different when you're actually going like, all right, what are your numbers and like what are you actually doing on each down? And it's like they have really cool answers. They're really good against the run. They're really good against the pass. They can blitz you. They can rush you with 4. They can actually have coverage now. I'm really interested to watch what they did in this game against a team that Shanahan usually gives the Rams some issues, because he just kind of has the Rosetta Stone of this offense. So kind of goes, I know what you're thinking I'm going to do, so I'm going to do this actually. It's kind of fun to watch always. But like you said, it's just these two NFC West teams. It's no dig at the 49ers because they're battling too. But it's just, man, the Seahawks and
Yeah.
Rams just feel like such class right now because they just have so many good players, such good units, such good coaching. But yeah, the Seahawks lapped the Cardinals. And DeMarcus Lawrence had a brace of touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. The Lions completely snuffed out the Commanders. That's the other NFC team kind of battling in there as well. Commanders are just a zombie team with all the injuries they had right now. But man, it was cool to, like you said, McVay. I'm fascinated by him every year. What's his new kind of little tweak? It's stuff he's done before, but then kind of just new iterations of that. There's so much zone stuff this year on top, or they're really good at the zone stuff this year on top of the duo stuff. And now they're doing the play action, the dropbacks off of it. Seeing all these tight ends get going. Like, just look at their targets today. 8 targets to Adams, 6 to Nakua, 5 to Parkinson, 3 to Higbee, 4 to Ferguson, 3 to Williams, Kyron Williams, 2 to Allen, 2 to Mumfield. Like, it was just, they're spreading the ball out, and they also have these 2 dudes at receiver. So it's like, they're just such a tough out. I can't wait to watch that game against Seattle next week because Seahawks are just rolling too.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to just add on this game is, I feel like Mac Jones kind of deserves some props for how he's played this season. Like, even today was, like they had some pretty good moments today, even though it just too banged up to kind of get across the finish line. But I was looking at like their first and second down stats in this game, and Mac Jones on first and second down dropbacks, 29 for 32, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, 44% conversion rate, 0.42 EPA per dropback, and a 73% success rate. So, like, you did some nice things, man. And 0 sacks too. Like across those 32 dropbacks, 0 sacks. You managed pressure on 34% of those dropbacks. So, he's kind of redeemed himself, I think, after how going home to Jacksonville wasn't maybe the best thing for him last year. And maybe he'll get a chance to start somewhere next year. I don't know, but I thought that it's been cool to kind of see him have this little redemption tour and be a little jokester with the media.
Yeah, and actually, like, talking crap and stuff like that. It's I mean, overall, he went 33-39. Yeah, 84.6% completion rate. Like, he's chucking it. Like, he throws some balls up to Jennings, and I get why Jennings has those broken ribs in this offense. But I agree. I've always been I never really totally was out on Jones because of like what he had to go through the last year with the Patriots, and the Jaguars year was just whatever. He had some home cooking literally going on. And it was just with him. But now he's always just been a cool accuracy guy. So like when he's rolling, it just feels really cool because there's just the ball floats out and then just boom, there's a catch and run that happens. So good little shout out there, Chuck. We'll go high number 2 to Mac Jones's original team. The Patriots had some rookies shining today. A nice win against the Bucs. Patriots win this game 28-23 in the Tom Brady Bowl, the Gronk Bowl. But Travion Henderson, 2 huge runs, and also Kyle Williams with a nice catch and run on first down. That was nice off a little play action. It was a great throw by May, but we'll get to him in a sec. But this is why Henderson's so interesting for this offense, even if he can be sometimes not ideal between the tackles. He had a nice run on a duo run. That was the 55-yarder touchdown. And then he had the 69-yard touchdown where he goes out to the side. But what's significant was how fast these guys were. It was literally the fastest players that the Patriots have had this entire year. Cal Williams hit 21.78 miles an hour on his touchdown. Henderson went 22 miles an hour on his long touchdown, then 21.38. The fastest rookies of the year so far. So you felt that today. Wasn't all perfect. They made a little interception at the end. Their defense kind of got a couple times. Mecca Buka had a big day. But what did you think about this Patriots win? What did you think about their young guys kind of stepping up today?
Oh man, it was fun to see the Travion Henderson explosives to kind of get him going. And again, another game where the Bucs kind of struggle against the running backs, and they get gashed and they give up some of these big gains. And man, that just feels like it could be an Achilles heel, problem for them, like as they move forward, because they just don't seem to have an answer for like when these guys get in space. And today wasn't even. I don't even think today was really through the air for Travion. I think he only caught 1 pass or a couple passes, but like on the ground, like they were ripping off some big plays. So if that's going to be an element that they can count on, and I'm still kind of dubious on this because Tampa Bay's run defenses, if you can get past Vita Vea, you might be able to do something explosive like on the back end. So
and they did.
We'll see if this.
It was a slog, but there was a couple haymakers they were able to throw. Yeah,
right. So that's if they can actually run the ball, and that's going to be something that is more consistent for them for the back half of the season. Like, I think it changes their
Yeah.
scope from being like, oh, a team with a really good quarterback that's ahead of schedule to maybe a team that could win a playoff game in the right circumstances. So I just thought it was really cool to see him kind of get off, and then even though May didn't have maybe like the most perfect day that we've seen, like just set up to a standard that he's had so far, he still played really well. Had some
Right.
bombs where you look like, oh, this is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and someone who can like actually carry them potentially like on a long run through the playoffs sooner rather than later, which is crazy because Patriots fans just don't deserve that to happen to them. So we'll we'll have to track this one, but I mean, even on the other side, Egbuka, this is crazy. Like what these Ohio State guys are doing, JSN today. I just
Oh, I know.
like the amount of talent they have accrued there, and then shoot, we got Cardinal Tate and Jeremiah Smith coming next. It's ridiculous.
Yes, I know. It's absolutely ridiculous. I know. I really like Tate. He was in my top 20 for the updated big board. No, it's May is just. I mean, he's whether he wins MVP or not, or whether you think it's justified with schedule and everything. I mean, he's just playing like a top 5 guy, like just week in, week out. Like you say, even in his floor moments, it's just there's so much they're doing or he's able to do. Like he had a couple really good plays. The 3rd and 7 conversion. It was in the 3rd quarter. He hits Matt Collins. He evades Vita Vea. Say that 5 times fast. And he steps up, and there's like 4 bucks around him. So like an extended play, hits Matt Collins, who just like keeps running across, converts. He had a 3rd and 14 deep ball to Matt Collins where he just gets smoked. The play before, Vita Vea smoked him again, and he just steps up and just rockets these throws. 3rd and 9 curl route to Matt Collins for another nice throw, but Matt Collins does like a broad jump past the sticks. He had a slant to Pop Douglas. That was nice, but it was just, I thought the Bucs, they adapted pretty well where it felt like they were dropping 3. Not felt like it, they were rushing 3 and dropping 8. And they had Levante
like
David as a spy. So
little engaging.
I know, right? Yeah. KJ, Buddy Ryan was calling plays. And yeah, the stupid interception was, I saw that. I get this entire sequence. This happens to some of these young quarterbacks. He had to throw the ball away on 2nd down. And so they get really antsy and they're like, well, I can't throw the ball away twice, back-to-back plays. And then, then he tries to extend it and just makes a stupid play. But I thought his eyes were really good today. And the run game wise, I did think that the Bucs, the Patriots had 22 designed runs, only 5 were successful, but 3 were explosive. And that's the thing, is if you can offset the lack of successfuls with at least some bombs and real bombs, grand slams like Henderson hit today, like you said, it's just an element to this offense that kind of just makes them more dangerous outside just Drake May being, a golden god for stretches at a time.
Yeah, seriously. He's just incredible. And man, like just for him to be this good, this fast, just wish it was on a different team. Just wish it was on a different team.
I'm sure. I know. Just another
was
guy
on my
in the
team.
AFC, too. Oh my god. We'll get to that right now. Actually, high number 3. We're tilting this to the high. Jonathan Taylor rumbles in Berlin. I like how we label this. Colts win this game 31-25. How I headlined my notes was Colts allow Falcons to Falcon.
It's no good. It's no good what's happening here, man. I thought this was just one of like the most confusing losses maybe that they've had all season, just because like it never really felt like they were in control of this game at any point, obviously, because even at points when they had the lead, there were just points where they were just getting peppered on the runs, and you keep seeing Jonathan Taylor pick up like 5 yards, 6 yards, and they're getting blown off the ball, and they're struggling to kind of get things going in terms of their run defense and filling the run. And then you get the big 83-yard rush towards the end of the game, where it kind of just plays out in the most Falcons way possible, where you have like this. It looks like he got stuffed at first. Honestly, I was like, okay, so maybe they can hold on here and kind of hold on for dear life before we get to the end of the game. And then he pops out the back, and he's gone like 80 yards down the field. And I was sitting there, like, man, I expected the big run to come just because they were getting jabbed, like I said, 5, 6, 7, 10 yards. But for the big run to happen like it happened was just peak Falcons. Raheem Morris, just another horrendous job managing the clock today. And then at the end of the game, like when they're about to go into overtime, uh, I was just begging, like, please just kneel it, please just kneel it. And then, they had Penix got a little bit frazzled, maybe. I don't know what happened there, but really just poor execution from the Falcons passing game again, outside of Drake London. And, Kyle Pitts had a pretty bad drop early on, which was, kind of out of character for him for the season. But since it was an island game, that's the only thing that matters. And he's above again, and he's trash. Even though he had the highest on-target catch rate in the NFL going into that game at 97%, and 3 Falcons were in the top 10. So I don't know what's going on. It seems like we got a pretty good supporting cast, but we can't score no points consistently without the help of Jalen Walker. I don't know. Jalen Walker and Jesse Bates. That's the only way we can kind of get these things going back in our direction.
I've been waiting for some offenses to kind of just big boy the Falcons defense, like in the run game, and that was the Colts today.
Like the James Pierce stuff is outrageously bad. Like against the run. And I keep seeing Falcons fans be like, oh, it's fine. Like we're still okay with the trade because we got James Pierce. I'm like, what? Like you're watching this and you're like, you're cool with what's happening right now? Like he's not even participating in the team run defense. And I don't even mean that as a joke. Like he's just because there are multiple occasions where it's 3rd and 2, 4th and 3 or something like that. And he's like flying up the field trying to get a TFL, which he never gets. And I'm like, bro, if you go up the field and you're behind the running back, there's no one behind you. So now your linebacker's just going to get killed by some guard and bang, give him a 4th down, give him a touchdown. And I don't understand like how they keep letting him play on these rundowns when he's not even really trying to like stuff the run. And if you're going to be that guy, you got to get more pressure than he's doing now. And it kind of felt like they were invisible at times today, even though they did have 7 sacks. I thought that Jalen Walker played well. Jeff Ulbrich had another good day, like where he was able to get some pressures. Both teams like got nuked on 3rd down. There's a point where they were like 0-13 combined. So really weird, sloppy game. But Falcons passing offense, man, it's got to get better. Because like you can't go 12 for 28. You can't be as dysfunctional as you are and expect to win anything this season. But they're not going to. I mean, they're 3-6. They're done.
On top of the Rams high is that they have the number 9th overall pick now because they have the Falcons number 1 pick, which is I check out every week now. I know you do, but it's now part of my weekly checkup. My True Media, Next Gen Stats, Tankathon. Where are you at, Falcons? Where's that pick going? No, you did mention it. That I did think I agree. Ulbrich had a nice game. The teams combined to go 2 for 20 on 3rd down today. It was, but the Colts still had a high success rate on 1st and 2nd down, which just kind of tells you where they're at. Some nice design stuff, light in the pants. Pierce is kind of the epitome of it, or kind of like Chris, kind of is the, like, what is the example of what this whole defensive problem is. There's a lot of speed up front, but then just not a lot of size, not a lot of strength to hold up. And then you look at offense. Well, actually, no, I'll just start with some of the Taylor runs too. Like the long touchdown was the 83-yarder. It was a duo run. And the Colts did this a couple times, but it was like such an adjustment that I was like, yeah, this is kind of what you want to do against this Falcons defense. They went into slot, which is so 2 tight ends were on one side, 2 receivers on the other side. That's called slot formation. East, right slot, east, left slot, all that stuff, hip slot. And they ran duo. But the thing was the Falcons, they have a check against slot. They check into quarters. They check in. I saw it. They either ran palms, and I think it was palms they called, which is a variation of it. And so against duo with that when you have a 2 high box at that, quarters cover 4, you're gonna have a light run box to stop it. And so they were able to pop off several of these runs just on a simple slot duo play, including the 83-yarder. But it was just a little fun adjustment they made. And I was giving Tony Brown Jr. some props because he was able to kind of like key in on this every week, and Taylor just takes advantage. But the Falcons' run game was rolling. Bijan Robinson had a nice game. Tyler Algier, the hamster ball. Awesome 2 touches, but his oh my god, in the red zone, he was just running over everybody. I call him the hamster ball because as soon as he scored those 2 touchdowns, I was like, oh man, fantasy owners are just saying fire Arthur Smith. But no, and then Drake London goes for 104 yards, 1 touchdown. Like you said, it's just the auxiliary parts you kind of feel it a little bit, missed throws, lack of defensive size. You kind of just feel it. And I think the Colts kind of big boyed them today in the second half.
This is exactly what we said was going to happen to them this season.
I know.
It's exactly what we like. This was the most predictable
I'm trying not to
finish
say I
for
told you
them.
so, but you know.
Like, okay, so
It's
the whole time I'm like, you ate candy this offseason. Where's your meat and veggies? Where's our D
yep.
tackles? Rook Ororo, who you drafted in the second round last year, was unplayably bad today. It was ridiculous, like how often he was getting destroyed. Like when you're talking about that duo play, they were walking him just off the ball almost
It's
every single
that's the
play
thing. You
in the
can't do
second
light
half.
boxes with D tackle play like that.
Right.
You need monsters at
You
D
need Aaron
tackle to play that
Donald.
way. Yeah,
You need
you're
Aaron
right.
Donald and Jalen Ramsey in the box. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's just get Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. Okay, cool. But
it,
I just don't understand how they didn't see this happening. And I know they've had some moments with their rookies, but like I think Jalen Walker looks good. I think James Pierce, for
yeah.
what he gives you as a run defender, he's going to have to win more one-on-one pass rushes than he does now. Because even like the sack he had today, that was unblocked off the edge, and it's great that like you can get
It
that
was a
speed in
screen.
space, but right,
Yeah,
right, right. And that was
but that's the thing
just
is
totally messed up.
he's a meat. He's a dog chasing meat. Like he just as soon as he
Yeah.
like it's a screen and he had no discipline on it.
Yes.
He just ran. I mean, I guess
Yes.
it's not the worst thing. He ran straight at the quarterback, but he had no idea.
Well,
He had tunnel vision right at the quarterback.
Yeah, I don't even
Yeah,
want to say he got lucky, but I'm sitting there watching, like as that play's unfolding, I'm watching him around, like, where are you going, bro? But
yeah.
it got so mucked up that he was able to get there in time. So bad process, good result. We'll have to take that.
Right.
But man, yeah, they just have to get so much better at winning these one-on-one blocks. And it's crazy to say that after a game where they had 7 sacks on Daniel Jones, but I really do feel like a lot of it is Jeff Ulbrich really like he's really found a good groove with Ellis and Walker and kind of playing them together. Because I thought that,
Yep.
that was going to be
Totally
maybe a
agree.
point of confliction because their skill sets are kind of similar. Like I think like Caden Ellis will be the worst case scenario for Jalen Walker as his career turns out. So the fact that they've been able to get him on the field and have them be productive is hat tip to Jeff Ulbrich. Like it's one of the few things that's working. And they need to bring back Ike Hilliard because I'm not sure that a Falcons receiver has not named Drake London has caught a pass since Ike Hilliard was fired after that Panthers game.
It feels like that, right? I know
It does feel like that.
he was the first scapegoat. Then they fired their special teams coach too. Excuse me, by the way. No,
I don't know if
and
he's
I
out
agree
there
that Walker. Yeah, I might be mixing up teams. Or was that the who was that? Somebody fired their special teams coach recently. It was like so and so did bad, so we have to fire our special teams coach. No, I totally agree with that though. Like Jalen Walker had 4 pressures today, and Ellis had 4 pressures. Pierce also had 5 pressures. So I should say that. But I do agree that I like the blitz stuff, the creeper stuff, the simulate stuff, and Walker is that's why I actually didn't. I like this fit. It was going there because they do some funky stuff, and he's perfect for a funky defense. So that's very true about how he did today. I want to give also Daniel Jones scrambling today. Had the huge scramble on the last drive to go to overtime. He had 6 scrambles today, which is double his season high. He's been scrambling so much less this season and taking sacks. That's kind of bottoming out a little bit. But the scrambles, he had 8.5 yards to scramble. 4 were successful. So you actually got to see him like running a little bit again. But that's just how the game felt today. You got Alec Pierce. I thought I was going to hit my Hail Mary. He had 84 yards, 4 catches, 1 touchdown. But he was rolling. That's Alec Pierce is going to get paid. Everybody get ready for it. And it's not just those deep balls that he can pull down. It's all the other stuff he can do now. But the Colts only got stuffed on 4.9% of their runs. 2 of their 35 design runs were stuffed, which is a gain of 0 negative yards. 7 explosive runs allowed. It was just big boy run game against a defense that's not built that way. They're a defense built to have a lead and just swamp you and just just like build. It's like a full court press basketball team. Just okay, we'll allow some layups, but okay, no, we're just going to overwhelm you as the game goes along. But the offense is not consistent enough to do that right now, and that's just the big issue with this team.
Yeah. Okay, I just looked it up. I got curious about the Falcons receiver stats since the
I can see a light bulb turn on for you. You're like,
I was like, no, because I'm sitting here losing my mind. Like, does anyone else play for this team, or is it just Drake London and Kyle Pitts? So since week 4, Drake London has 37 catches on 58 targets. Kyle Pitts is second with 30 catches on 40 targets. Bijan Robinson is third with 29 catches on 36 targets. Fourth, Darnell Mooney, 7 catches on 20 targets. And the next receiver, KC Washington, with 3 catches on 8 targets. So since Ike Hilliard was fired, all Falcons receivers have not named Drake London, excuse me, have 12 catches for 201 yards in the past, what, 6 games? So we're killing it. We are killing it, man.
Interesting.
It's
I'm
stuff.
all about. I don't know if you remember the Randy ratio, but my dad, when he got hired, he said that 40% of the targets, so 40% of the target share, essentially, of plays should go to Randy Moss, which is one of those things where it's like he's not wrong with the idea. It was just the execution,
Right.
and also telling your every opponent that that's what you're doing before you coach a single game. But it's you can hyperfixate enough to certain targets. Look at the Rams. Okay, we can go to Puka Nacua every single time last year. Okay, we need more. All right, we got Devontae Adams. Okay, now teams are starting to overplay these two guys. All right, guess what? We just got 4 tight ends with multiple catches. Like we got,
Yeah.
we just expand our auxiliary targets. The Seahawks, which they, all right, we got JSN, one of the highest target shares in the last 12 years. I mean, literally, it's I think number 2 behind Puka Nacua from last year. All right, we got to get Cooper Kupp going a little bit. Torrey Horton, okay, but Torrey Horton's getting banged up. All right, Rashid Sheed get in. Tight ends get in. Okay, now we can just build out our auxiliary targets. It just, again, gives you ability to like adapt as the season goes along and the playoffs hit and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Colts can do it. Tyler Warren had a nice game. I'm really liking how they're looking. And
Yeah.
I
Looks
think the
good.
defense, Sauce Gardner had a nice jump on the ball in one play. That was really nice. I want to still TBD on them just to see how high I can get on them, but that doesn't hurt. Any other
Right.
closing thoughts on this game? In Berlin,
No.
just move on. Just move on.
Got
Oh
nothing.
yeah, Henderson's long touchdown was on Duo. So great day for Duo. Great day for Nate Tice's cut ups this week. And also weird sequence of that Bucks game I meant to mention, the Patriots game. Like Drake May kind of sort of took a kneel when he was supposed to sneak, and I think it actually just slipped, but I'm not sure. But I'm curious on rewatch because Romo and I, or not Romo and I, but Romo was saying like, oh yeah, they're burning clock there, and so I'm curious on rewatch if that actually is what it looked like.